Here comes the Bears punter now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fielded at the 33. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but bottom line, his team's losing. They got to fix something.
And it starts with him. He has to keep that little quarterback strut going right now to make sure that his team sees him as confident. Continue to try and up his game, but just let him know, hey, if I'm around, if I'm the one calling signals and throwing the football, just follow me, we'll get there. Sometimes that will do more to elevate a team than anything else.
See if he has that confidence. So you heard the word. This is a neutral zone infraction.
Yeah, the defender wanted to try and get back after he had jumped, unable to do so.
They'll come out in the pistol. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Looking left side, and it's complete. Give him 27 yards that time. And the Colts are going to have a first.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker. Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Yeah, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. And he'll go down, brought down at the 20-yard line. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down. Now the Bears electing to call a timeout defensively. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise. They're in the dime. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. They do get 18, but even that won't be quite enough. It's 4th down. And now the Bears going to signal for another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. And Catanzero's kick is right through, and they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So it's an old-school extra point, but certainly a disappointment that they couldn't get 6.
Yeah, when you see 19-yard field goal in the box score, you kind of shake your head. But their head coach decided 3 was enough.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. He's got the lead here in the 2nd quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, is that interception, even though you're playing while your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested.
And this throw will be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
Now the Colts offense gets ready to head back on the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of... Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And now inside the red zone, the offense will operate. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. So 1 yard to go here on 3rd down. Now back to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal. They've made goal line offense a priority on the practice field this week. This is exactly the situation they've been prepping for. They'll look to throw again. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass. Excellent job. Way to knock it down.
And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Their big tight end. His first NFL reception goes for 6. And the Colts are in for 6.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Already looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And it worked his way across the 30 to the 32. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we send you down to our EA Sports Studios in Orlando, where we find our man Larry Ridley with our halftime report.
Thanks, Brandon. I'm Larry Ridley, and welcome to our EA Halftime Report. The Bears trail right now, but with another half to play, there's time to turn it around. The Colts have been the better team, though, and will try to maintain the lead in the second half. So that's a wrap for us. We'll head back now to Soldier Field for the start of the second half.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
See if they do just that.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
So second down was a run play. Now let's see what they do on third.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group.
Everyone understood their role on that play. 3rd and 1. You know the defensive guys, they're trying to get down and get low and get leverage on the offensive lineman, but they didn't allow that to happen. They created a crease and allowed him to get through for a first down.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. And he'll give it here to his running back. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down. 7 yards remaining here on 3rd down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running, it's dictating on defense, and guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And the defense coming through on 3rd down, a loss of 7 to bring up 4th. The Colts send out their punter. He's been terrific so far. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work. I feel like you and I could be in our backyard with our dads right now. What did they always say when they're throwing us a ball? Look it all the way in. Make sure you secure it. That had the feeling of not happening there on that play, that he didn't have full control of the ball.
When that punt's coming in, I have a return punch, but I would imagine it's tough to monitor those guys coming full steam ahead at you.
It really is. You try and get that peek to know where they are, about whether you should fair catch it or not. But sometimes you just have to have a sense, a feeling, and just have to make sure, number one, though, you catch the ball and put it away.
Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. So this brings up a 2nd and 2.
First play of the drive. Let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Not too many more ideal situations in 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. Uses the stiff arm. And he's got about 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 25.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
All right, partner, despite my eating habits, I'm not big enough to play offensive tackle, nor am I quick enough. But with the defensive ends nowadays and their speed, those guys have to be able to punch and dance, and it's a tough, tough job to contain them.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4th. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely. I mean, size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you? I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick. But able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football, that's why he was able to bat it away.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard. So still in search of the first down after that last completion.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
So it'll be first down here after the run.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Throwing left side, it's complete. 15 yards through the air on a first down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
That coach is always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
They'll look to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. A great read. He's got daylight. He's at the 30. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD. Short throw, pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Catanzaro now for the extra point. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be taken about the 12. Now a hit and a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
They're going to look to throw to the sideline, and oh, a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. Out of the gun now on third down. And oh, this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
It's got to the point when we see guys like that make that type of a catch. Not fair goes through my brain. That size, that speed, and now they're acting like wide receivers too.
Yeah, tight end one-handed catches. They're kind of like wide receiver one-handed catches nowadays.
Just not right.
Here we go now.
They'll look to throw here on first down. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop.
Holding offense.
So holding by the offense, and maybe now got to shift up what you want to do on the playbook.
Yeah, definitely. Change what you're doing in the playbook, but boy, the advantage shifts to the guys on defense, doesn't it? Longer yardage situations, they often become bolder.
And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. A great read, and it's picked off. And nearly a touchdown as they finally stop him down at about the 3-yard line. He had his eyes on the end zone. He got close. At least he set the offense up nicely, but he's probably mad he didn't take that one to pay dirt.
I agree with you, and you know he's going to get teased because he didn't get it all the way into the end zone. But if they don't score now, if they don't get a touchdown, he won't just get teased. They'll be glaring at him. How'd you not score?
And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Now that was a terrific play. We're down here near the goal line, and only one word comes to mind for me, and that's overwhelmed, because they absolutely overwhelmed the offensive line. He came free and made the hit in the backfield.
So it'll be second and goal when we return. We've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now at Soldier Field. It's the Colts. They've got control of the football. They also have the lead as we start the fourth. They come up in an offset eye. Back to throw here. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. They'll look to throw here. And intercept, and he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. A great read, and it's picked off. Past the 20. And they will score a pick-6 for a Bears touchdown. Third down, passing down. They throw the extra defensive back in there for a nickel package, and it worked out.
And it's not anything that you would think is just great strategy. It's just that when you have 5 defensive backs on the field and an obvious passing down, it's a lot tougher to complete a pass. And on that play, they completed it just to the wrong team, and it cost them 6 points.
The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. It's up and good, and this now becomes a 24-21 ball game. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick-6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6, and now the kick is away. Short kick here, fielded about the 17. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Here comes the Colts offense now as they make their way onto the field. And last time, decent field position through the pick-6, obviously costly.
but they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too. And they pick up a first down, and that came out of the fullback position. But as you and I both know, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a fullback playing in that spot.
Well, times have changed, right? The old school fullback doesn't really exist anymore.
We're not getting that same player out of college with all the spread offenses, not very many pro style where you actually have a true fullback. We're having to make do in the NFL and put guys in that spot who emulate it but aren't necessarily that position.
They'll drop to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he takes this thing down deep into Chicago territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 41 yards.
Oftentimes, guys who do a really nice job on the wide receiver screen plays are really good punt returners. It's the same skill. Make the first guy miss and then pick up your blocking and get downfield. Nice gain on that play.
They'll set up to throw. Looking for someone to throw to. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. They'll run it now out of the gun. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up in the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
So a 3rd and 10, and defensively, a dime look. 6 DBs. Can't find anyone open. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down. So now Catanzaro comes on in a pressure spot. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. And that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6. So they get the 3 here, but you wonder whether that's going to be enough.
Yeah, I mean, you've now made it so they need a touchdown rather than a field goal to catch them. But you're right. If they'd gotten 6 out of that drive, this would be a much different game.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And the passing game, I mean, look at the numbers. It's fallen off. When a team is struggling, sometimes you look at the quarterback. When the quarterback starts to struggle, who goes over and picks him up?
Yeah, that's always a big one, isn't it? Usually, there's a quarterback whisperer somewhere. And what I mean by that is, whether it's an assistant coach, whether it's one of his best friends on the team, someone that can get in his ear, get with him and say, all right, my man, what do you need? What's going on here? There's always one person he can lean on. He's going to have to lean on that guy right now.
Let's go. 3:19.
The play clock's running down. He'll look to throw. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot. Because we saw the catch there, right? He made it. He's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
Play clock winding down. They'll set up a throw. And he slings one that's incomplete.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move them all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
1 receiver left, 2 to the right. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
And there's the pickup you want on first down. All offenses say, you get me 4 on first down, we'll take it. How about if you get 5? They'll really be happy.
Time running out here on the play clock. Back to throw. And he's going to go down. Back across midfield. He's sacked at the 46.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz call and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there. Well, any caused incompletion is good for a defense. But when you add to it that you get a little hit on the quarterback, knock him to the ground, make him think a little bit, hopefully knock him off his game, especially in a game of this magnitude, this tight in the fourth quarter, you got to feel pretty good as a defense.
First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. And well done here. That one will kick out of bounds at about the 8-yard line. The Bears defense gearing up as they take the field. And last time out, they gave up the chip shot field goal, but obviously could have been worse than that. I think they felt pretty good about only giving up 3.
No doubt about it. Anytime an offense gets into the red zone, the thinking naturally for the defense is, okay, 3 points. We're going to give up 3 here, but let's make it no more than that. They met their goal.
On the other side, though, the offense, they weren't very happy.
No, because there's an opportunity. Once you get to the red zone, you're not thinking about kicking a field goal. You're thinking about how do you get into the end zone, and when you don't, you walk off the field feeling a little bit of failure on that drive.
Yeah, who will have the better feeling at the end of this drive? And in this situation with a lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take. Puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
This is taken at about the 14. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Bears take over. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
It's interesting because when I'm watching college football and I'm evaluating guys for the draft now, my list of fullbacks, pure fullbacks, it's a very short list. I'm probably evaluating more punters and kickers now than I am fullbacks, but it doesn't matter what you call a position, it's who you put there, and there we saw completion.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. They'll look to throw. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he's brought down. They'll get 17 yards there. And it'll be a Chicago first down. And a nice pitch and catch to pick up the reception against man coverage.
Both of them read how much yardage they needed, figured what they were able to beat the man coverage.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up second down. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down. Well, that plays a statistic that's going to go on the defensive team stat sheet. Won't necessarily reflect in ours, right, the overall game sheet. But you and I know that they keep count on pressures, hits on quarterbacks, all those things, hoping to increase that throughout the game. And here we are in the fourth quarter, and they got a big one.
This is caught inside the 15. That goes for a gain of 31. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
Now let's go. Green, 30. Watch him now, Barney. Watch him now, Barney.
They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. He'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Tevin Coleman with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Bears are an extra point away from taking the lead in this game. Extra point forthcoming. And they have taken the lead here in this 4th quarter. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. The Bears send the kicking team out there, and they will send this one away. Fairly short kick, taking it to 14 here. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch. Especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. They got exactly what they wanted there. Out route, catch, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
And I have to criticize defense here because you know the situation. You want to keep them in bounds and have the clock run. So I'm sitting on the outside portion of the field and not letting them throw an out route. Throw anything inside and I'll make the tackle. An out route? That's not the way you're supposed to play it. So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
They'll look to throw. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's third.
Well, the pressure, the hits, the sacks have been coming at him all game long. I'm frankly surprised that they haven't found a solution yet to create more time for him to throw it or maybe change what they do on offense.
And that's one of the biggest differences in this game and why they're losing right now. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. And fights him off. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. 1 score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Going to give this time to the tailback. He needed a couple, but he didn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. And that's going to be just about all she wrote for this one. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's gotten off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage.
Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Colts pick it up. Taking it right down Broadway. And in for the score. Are you kidding me? They return it, and they take the lead. And that is a tough pill to swallow. All they had to do, Charles, keep the ball, work this clock.
The only way for the defense to win was to force the fumble. And they did. Took it the other way for a score. And now, if you're the offensive team, it will take a miracle, perhaps, to win this ball game.
And they'll get set here looking for the 2-point conversion. They'll try and throw for it. Oh, he stays up, and he's going to go down. Can't get rid of it, so a sack on a 2-point try. They had the big play on the fumble return. They were looking for the 1-2 punch, but they couldn't get that 2-point conversion.
And I have to wonder, were they scheduled to go ahead and kick the extra point? But after a play like that, you talk about the 1-2 punch, right? It's a momentum play. Go for 2 and really try to capitalize, and that's what they attempted.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. 1 possession game. Time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation. But this is Friday practice every week of the season. You go over this situation, having to go downfield, limited timeouts, got to get out of bounds and keep the drive going and set yourself up. Defensively, you can't just lay back and let them do whatever they want. So it is a cat and mouse deal here. How much pressure will the defense bring, and how much pressure can the offense handle?
We're going to find out. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Back to throw. And he'll go out of bounds, it appears, right at the 45. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
Escaping the pressure right. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a cop.
Now the Bears electing to call a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. On second down, they'll try and run the counter. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Well, I know at points in this when you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So for the Colts, they boost their record up to a strong 4-1. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Bears, they drop below 500 to 2-3 with a loss. And perhaps fortunately for them, they'll get an early bye next week and come back to action in Week 7. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long from Soldier Field.